LilyUlloa for Xicana Boxing here with Robert Garcia. Robert, I straight up, I just want to go straight into that video, that viral video of you helping out Lubin. That is so freaking cool. First of all, like, it's like second nature to you, I know already, to look out for the fighters that have to go back to their families. But what did you see that prompted you to, like, get up immediately and get, like, the stewie? Hell yeah, one little iced coffee.
I always, every time they go get coffee, I always ask for black coffee, and they bring me this chick ass drink, but it's still good. It's good.
He has the sugar and the caffeine.
Hey, what do I ask for? But they bring me this shit. Pero está bueno.
I believe.
Está bueno. Está dulce. Me gusta lo dulce. But anyways, look, that's something it's always part of safety. It's a sport, man. You know, people sometimes take it as personal. We're going against Robert Garcia's team, and you know, a lot of people take it personal. That's not me. You know, I don't wish people bad. You know, obviously, if I'm going against them, like I did whatever it took to beat them. You know, that's my job. But I don't wish them bad. Boxing is a tough fucking business, man. Boxing is tough to a point where a lot of careers end up pretty bad. You know, you guys have seen a lot of fighters that are retired, even former world champions that are having trouble speaking, that are having trouble memorizing things, forgetting everything over and over, having problems with balance, you know, their balance, you know. So, you know, you don't want to see that in fighters, you know, and plus, worst, when you see a tragedy, you know. And we lived one with my sobrino, with Pelos, rest in peace, Pelos. It was not even a televised fight or anything. It was just a small club show we did in Calabasas a few years ago, and he fought to a draw. So the fight was pretty close, but he landed so many punches on his opponent, especially uppercuts, that when the bell rang to end the fight, they hugged to both of them, you know, congratulations, you know, each other for the fight that they did. And his opponent collapsed, and on the way to the hospital, he died. So, you know, so tragedies like that, I don't wish none of that to any of my opponents, anybody in the ring. So that's my first instinct. You know, if you see the video, I actually bumped into Vergil first. Instead of celebrating with him, I went to make sure Lubin had the stool and he was sitting down, and you know, he was okay. Because when I got there, he was still hurt. So, you know, that's just my instinct. It's not. You know, I never thought it was gonna. It's going viral. Everybody's calling me about it. I didn't think it was gonna be like that. Because I've done it before too. You know, on smaller fights. I've done it before, but you know, this time it looked like everybody paid a lot of attention to it, and you know, went viral. You know, so that's just the way I am, you know, I guess. Yeah.
That's so weird. You're so nice. Did you think though that Vergil was gonna get it done that fast? Like, did you think that it was gonna be like second round? Porque vi que le dices, hey, stay smart. Yeah. Like, you got time. Yeah. And you know, you're like, you have to stay smart, jab, go to the body, move la cabeza. Did you think that it was gonna end that fast?
We never thought it was gonna be that fast, because we know Lubin is a tough guy, very durable guy, has had great fights against world champions, has fought for the title twice. So we didn't expect it to be that quick. We all thought it was going to take 8 to 9 rounds. Cause I did believe we were going to win by knockout, but I did expect 8, 9 rounds. I said 8 or 9 rounds is what we're going to have to work. So that's why my instructions were, you know, take your time, be patient, and especially the first 2 or 3 rounds when your opponent's still fresh, still trying to confuse you, still trying to see what you got, maybe catch you with the right punch. Even when Vergil had him in the ropes, I was still kind of worried that Lubin was just playing it up to land one hard punch, because a lot of fighters do that. So, you know, that's why the instructions were, you know, we got rounds, pace yourself, take your time, but in boxing, another instruction that my fighters always get is, if you see an opening and if you could get them in the first round, then you're gonna get them out, because there's no overtime, you know. So Vergil took advantage of it. He felt it and took care of business.
What is your reaction? Because even one of the zone commentators said that Lubin was shot, and before this, I remember people being like, Lubin could be one of the guys to disrupt Vergil's train and take his spot, or he's still, yes, he lost to Fandora and back with Charlo, but he had not been like stopped like that.
He had, I don't know what, three or four fights, wins in a row. So exactly. So it's not like he was just coming off straight knockout losses or anything like that. He's young, he's strong, he's dangerous. So no, that he was shot. No, he was just caught, and Vergil took advantage of it. There's fighters that right now a lot of questions are going around about Errol Spence. And Errol Spence hasn't fought since he fought Crawford and took a beating. It was a pretty bad beating, and that car accident that he was involved in. So maybe he is. We don't know. So if Errol Spence comes straight to a fight against Vergil, and Vergil destroys him the way he did against Lubin, then maybe people could say, oh, well, he was already shot. But not if he comes after a win, one or two wins, and looks good. Then you can't say he's shot. Lubin wasn't shot. He had 3 or 4 wins in a row, and had been looking good in his last couple of fights. So we can't say he was shot. It's just Vergil's just strong and caught him with a right punch, and Vergil knows how to finish. He's a monster in the ring.
Do you feel like he gets maybe, I don't know, I'm gonna be honest with you, Robert. Sometimes me siento como like, dang, I remember seeing Vergil, like back when he was fighting at 140, and I would be like, oh, that kid's gonna be a champ. Y como no se ha dado because of politics and his rhabdo, pero like, what do you think about that? Is that like a promotional thing? It was maybe if he was the PBC, he would have gotten a shot. Okay, ¿qué pasa?
It does have a lot to do with not I'm not saying not having the right promoter, because Golden Boy is one of the best. They're one of the best in what they do. But the titles are taken. PBC has WBC, Top Rank has Sandro Sayas, who is already going to unify. You know what I mean? And Vergil still hasn't become the solid champion. But it's politics. Another thing is, Top Rank has always done that since, for many years. They already like
WBO?
and for example, Sandro Sayas. They already 2 years ago. They're already kind of putting him to a fight where he's gonna get that WBO title opportunity. And look, he got it on a vacant title. So the WBO had him ranking up in the top. So when the title goes vacant, you fight for the title. So it's planning that out since the beginning. Eddie Hearn, if I'm not mistaken, is already planning on doing the IBF champion fighting Kelly, I think it is. So if he's doing that, that means he's already planning on doing something to maybe secure that title for maybe Boots if nothing happens with Vergil. Maybe, you know what I mean. So it's something that experienced promoters do. Golden Boy is like one of the best at what they do, but maybe they could have done something ahead of somebody else to try to get one of those titles. You know what I mean? But look, he would love to be champion. I would love that. He is a champion already. To me, he's the interim champion. He's the best in the division. So ain't nobody that could beat him in the division. So he's a champion. But I know Vergil. He wants to say, yeah, I have the IBF, I have the WBC, the belts. He would love to, but he's getting paid well. He's well known. Everybody knows as of right now he's the best at 154. So to me, that's already the champion. The ring belt is also vacant, if I'm not mistaken. So he should be fighting for the ring belt sooner than later. He's not ranked number 1. So he should be fighting for the ring.
He already fought in Riyadh, and they have all that.
Yeah, and that should already be something that could happen in the next fight. If it's against Boots, it might be for the ring also. So that's already important.
That whole thing with Boots, it's I feel like los fans, like, this is, me recuerda a Spence con Crawford, que se están poniendo ya bien, like, bravos, the fans themselves, right? It's turning into a really good rivalry. And to me, it feels like, de primero decían que, but Boots ducked, ¿verdad? Que fue él, because y'all offered him the fight, y no pasó. But now, because Vergil talked about Arrow, now they're saying that Virgil's the duck. How do y'all deal with, like, the fans kind of flip flopping, or do you guys les vale?
It's always going to be happening, and it's always going to happen in boxing. It happened with Mayweather and Pacquiao for how many years? We didn't get that fight till 10 years later. So sometimes the fans are always, they're always going to criticize and have their opinion, but boxing is also business. Boxing is also a sport where you have to go, and maybe if you have to wait a few fights from now to make it a fight 3 times bigger than what it is right now, maybe it's a smart thing to do. Fans would love to see it right now. I would love to see it right now because I think Virgil's ready. Virgil would want it right now, but it's a business. Golden Boy, Rick Morrigan, even Eddie himself. Eddie might just have one more fight with Boots, or that's why he wants it so fast. Because that's probably what it is. Eddie's the one pushing for it. Because I'm pretty sure Boots just did a 2-fight deal, maybe a 3-fight deal, and he's and after that he's screwed. You know what I mean? I could almost guarantee you that's the case. That's why Eddie's pushing, and we have to do it next, and we have to do it next. Because maybe you don't have another fight with Boots left.
Yeah,
understand?
You said that you feel like he wants to.
I've seen that it's happened. Boots originally wanted 2 tune-up fights at 154. He already did one, which was a real tune-up, an easy fight for him. So he might still want the other one. But Eddie is pushing for that fight, and now Boots is obviously saying he wants it too because he's also a fighter. He's not going to say, "Oh no, I don't want it." But Eddie might just have one more fight with Boots. That's why he's pushing to make that fight. Who knows? Golden Boy knows they're secured with Vergil because Virgil's loyal to them. Virgil said it in the press conference. You guys have got my back, and I'm very loyal. You know what I mean? So Golden Boy doesn't have to worry about pushing to make that fight right away because they know they got Vergil for a long time. And if the fight waits two or three fights from now, which is a year and a half max, because maybe they fight twice a year. It's still going to be a huge fight. It might be even 2 or 3 times bigger than it would be right now. That's just the business of boxing.
And I do think that that Vergil that'd be a good fight. Whether you feel like he's the A side, or do you think like Eddie's gonna try to say that because they have a better gauge? They're the A side.
Eddie, if they fight, look, they're both interim champions. But I don't think there's unifications when it comes to interim titles. So they'll have to figure out what they do. Maybe they just fight for the ring belts.
Yeah.
And it's A and B. Whoever walks out first gets announced second. And we've done that before. And look, honestly, it doesn't when the bell rings, who gives a fuck? Who the fuck entered the ring first?
Or whose name is first
exactly.
on the poster.
The winner's gonna be the one that's the baddest. The baddest one in there. It's not, okay, I'm going to win because I walked in second.
Yeah.
Or I was introduced second. That should do me nothing.
Moving on to Bam, who fights in Riyadh. This kid keeps taking back-to-back challenges because Pumita is no joke, right? I remember Pumita because de Argentina, siempre tiene las greñas pintadas, really también fast, se mueve. His footwork ain't too hack.
Yeah.
¿Cómo se prepararon for that? For someone that's, because before they said, no, Bam's, he's fighting the older guys, but now it's back to back. Some young guys who are also, up there and that's champs.
Look, there's always going to be people that criticize because, Gallo was old. Well, it's not Bam's fault that he became champion at 20,
And he still looks so good, Gallo.
Exactly. So, people just want to say whatever they want. Bam is just a special kid, He's one of those kids that comes to the gym. He's only 25 and comes to the gym, and so matured, trains his ass off, has great training camps. With Bam, it's not like we had to do anything extra during camp because it's a totally different fight. Yeah, we know Puma's gonna be our toughest guy until now. Puma's also hungry. I know the Argentinians. I worked with them for many years, and they're hungry, they're dedicated, and they know they have their country behind them. So that gives them that extra motivation. So that's a big plus for them. But Bam doesn't care who he's fighting. He always trains hard. He's always motivated, and he does his work. We had great work here in the gym with sparring partners. They all did a great job, and when the bell rings, Bam's just gonna go do his job. He's just gonna go do his work, like he always does. It's not like it's been different. Bam is actually more motivated when there's a challenge. He's had two fights as a champion that he didn't really perform at his best because the challenges were not big enough for him, and they didn't motivate him. So we know that whatever fights next is got to be something that challenges Bam, or else he won't even do it. He wants to become undisputed. So hopefully, if after Puma we do everything good and we could get that IBF title next. And if not, 118 is going to be our next step because Bam wants challenges. If there's nothing else at 115, there's nothing to do at 115. This fight on the 22nd was actually going to be at 118 already. It was supposed to be against Junto Nakatani. The fight was already done. We had already agreed. We had already agreed to move up to 118 to fight Junto, but Mr. Honda did not like the fight. He wanted Junto to move up to 122. So then the fight didn't happen.
And in a way, have their own stuff also going on. They have their own.
Yeah, so they got that plan too, which is understandable too. It's going to be a big fight in Japan, and for Junto, if he fights Inui, which I understand they're going to fight next year. So that left our next option, was Puma, which is still a great challenge for us. But it was going to be at 118 already against Junto. So next step is undisputed, or if not, 118.
I remember que cuando his brother was in Japan, there was some talk about, some inconveniences experienced out there. I remember Vergil's team have expressed some inconveniences over there in Riyadh. Is that something that maybe was like Bam took into consideration about going out there?
No, Bam loves it out there. Bam actually goes every time after his fights. Oh, Riyadh. Oh, he has no.
Japan.
Oh yeah, he loves Japan. No, Riyadh. He's doing it because it's a big fight. It's a unification, and he's fighting Puma. But Bam would rather fight here in the States. Yeah. Look, it's
Texas or Phoenix. It's like it brings out so many people.
It's just different. It's because it's different. We go out there, and the first week or so, it's hard to even go to sleep because of the just the total difference. And then when the fights start, it's also different because of the crowd. When we were out there with Jose, when he lost to Arnold Barbosa, that Latino show.
Yeah.
Okay. Zurdo Ramirez. There was very little people in the audience, so it doesn't give you the that energy, that vibe, of a Vegas card or LA card or Texas, Arizona. Those cards that fill up the arena. Exactly. So it's different. It's just different, but it's a great experience. Bam is going to feel that experience, and after that he might say I never want to come back, or he might say, hey, bring me back. I have no problem getting these fights. Some people are affected, others might not. So we'll see, but definitely fighting in Texas, fighting like Vergil and Fort Worth. It was unbelievable, man. The crowd, it's just awesome to see so many fans. People are not a lot of people don't travel that far, like to Saudi. Like we don't see that many fans going out there.
Can't drink or nothing. No, I'm sorry. Like Mexicans, I'm speaking for my people. Like we're not going.
It's true.
To Saudi and not drink.
It's true. They don't. It's just totally different. So people don't travel. So if you're one of those fighters that needs that crowd, that needs that, then
Ramirez, I feel like he's a hometown guy.
Jose is that one guy. Jose is that guy that couldn't have all his family there with him. That didn't have any fans out there. It hurt him. Some fighters don't care, but there's some that do. So it all depends on the fighter. I think that's just a different experience. We got to see it, with Bam, and if he has no problem with it, when we have to go back, then we'll go back.
Robert, you wear many hats. You are a fighter yourself, trainer. You do manage some guys. What do you think of the new like TKO, Dana White? I know it's hard to like really say like much because they're already a part of boxing. It's not they're coming in; they're already a part. And I feel like a veces my viendo a los fighters, maybe they don't want to say the wrong thing that maybe gets them not to have these opportunities with these guys. Or what is your take on protecting the Muhammad Ali Act? I guess
Look,
to make it a question.
Yeah. First of all, I manage most of my guys.
Yeah.
Honestly, I manage most of my guys because I know what boxing is, and I did it for many years, and I know what it is to having to pay 30%, then 10% of this and that and that, and at the end you end up with less than half. So I manage my fighters to a point where they end up with most of the money in their purse because I was a former fighter, so I don't take their money the way others do. So I try to make sure they're happy. But look, this things going on with TKO and so many promoters out there. You guys know everybody's complaining that they want to take away the Muhammad Ali Act, but they all know it's all part of the business. Look, I've been in fights where the promoters don't show you the Muhammad Ali Act, the all the numbers. They don't show you shit unless you ask. Unless I've seen fighters. The promoters come up to the fighter to sign them because they have to sign a sign to say that we showed it to them, and they come to sign. This is the Muhammad Ali Act. Sign it, and then the fighter's like, okay, hold on, and calls the manager. The manager comes, look, the fuck is this? This ain't even the Muhammad Ali Act. So promoters do all that shit. So it's all bullshit. Okay, we need the Muhammad Ali Act. We need the Muhammad Ali Act. Promoters know they fuck around with it all the time. They play with it. They won't even show it to you. When Mikey had that lawsuit with Top Rank a few years back, there was literally Muhammad Ali Act papers that Mikey signed like 2 days after his fight. You know what I mean? It's true.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's just Top Rank.
Kind of like the terms and conditions you skip by.
I'm not saying it's just Top Rank. They all do it. They never show you exactly what it is. You still have to. You still have to fight. You still have to argue for more. And I'm telling you, in New York, Jose is the one that was told to sign, and Rick came. He's like, "The fuck is this? This ain't no Muhammad Ali Act. Why are you guys trying to make him sign this?"
Yeah,
It's true. It's true. It's just reality. So, TKO. I haven't had any offers or anything for any of my fighters, where I see a contract. They've reached out to me, but I haven't seen an actual contract to know exactly what they want to do. What I have heard is that the money is 2 or 3 times more than any other promoter pays. So a lot of young fighters are going to want to do it. A lot of young fighters are going to want to do it. I don't know the rules or the terms, honestly. I really don't know. But if kids fighting 4 rounds are making $4,000, which is the normal pay for any of the top promoters, and TKO is going to pay them 12, a lot of kids are going to want to sign, especially the young ones. So this is a process that if it works for TKO, it's going to take 10, 15, 20 years to switch everything. It's generations. Just like life.
MVP has a lot of them.
Exactly. Just nothing to do with boxing. Just in life, if we have to get used to, okay, now kids could drink at 18. It's going to take a few years for it to be normal. So the same thing. If fighters start, young fighters start signing with TKO because the pay is 3 times better, then it's going to take a few years for them to become stars, and now they're the big names, because all the other big names, that like all the world champions, they still want to defend their title. They still want to negotiate their purses for from 1 million to three to from 3 to 5. Where TKO is gonna have more control of all that. So I don't think it's gonna be too easy for TKO to sign any of the top guys making millions already, who already they're gonna continue doing the same thing. But they have a very easy chance to getting all the young ones started, because they are, from what I've heard, like I'm telling you, they are getting paid more like 3 or 4 times more than what any promoter pays, and they're also giving them bonuses. They're
Partnerships.
yeah,
Like it
win.
comes with a
If you
lot.
win, you get $2,000. If you win by knockout, you get $4,000. So stuff like that. The fighters get motivated, like especially youngsters that are only getting paid $1,000 a round. It is going to make a difference there.
I think the last thing I heard también is that they're having something on December 6th, and there's a lot of people that are like, you guys should call, you guys should be making your voice known. Is that something that you, as a fighter that manages your guys, that's something you're like telling them about? Like you
I don't
guys,
even know. No,
or
I
you're
didn't even
just
know.
like,
Nah, I have no. I didn't even know what's going on in the six. Honestly, I really don't know.
Who manages that, Robert? ¿Cómo se
I
hace?
have no
Nobody
idea.
don't know.
You only said, la verdad, I didn't even know that.
Fighters won't
You know,
even know.
when because we were out there with Emiliano Alvarado for the underdog card Thursday
Oh, yeah,
before,
the Thursday, huh?
and to me everything looked normal. The event was different because they brought in singers and
Yeah.
people.
Entertainment.
There you go, entertainment. It was different. It was different, but the kids got paid well. The kids, everybody was happy. All the fighters were happy because they did get paid more than what they make with any other promoter.
Yeah, the
So
local
that is
fighters.
going to be a difference with all the younger fighters that are trying to, if it's at least, even if it's double what you would make with any other promoter, all the youngsters are going to want to do that.
Tienes otro campeón, you talked about him earlier, Muratalla. Is it true that he's fighting Andy Cruz?
Yeah, he's
next
fighting
year?
Andy Cruz.
So that's
It's done already. If I'm not mistaken, it's a done deal for January.
What do you think? Because I know he's gotten some criticism, I guess, for going a distance a couple times. Andy Cruz is a former Olympian. That kid is.
Yeah, he's a two-time
and
gold
on
medalist.
Shakur. He freaking stunning on
Two-time
Shakur.
gold medalist, but
¿Cómo le van a hacer ahí?
hey, he's that's the amateurs.
Yeah.
That's 3 rounds. That's 3 rounds. He's gonna have to
Have
fight
you
12
been
rounds.
impressed by him at all?
Yeah, he's a good fighter. He's a great fighter. I'm not saying it's an easy fight for us. Nah, it's gonna be a great fight. Andy is a great fighter, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, and has been looking really good in his professional fights. But so is Raymond, man. Raymond's good. Raymond is one of the best fighters that I have in my gym. He's talented.
quiet.
He's talented. He's quiet. He doesn't say nothing. He takes care of business. I think it's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be a great fight.
Leslie, this is just for me. This is for me because you're Nagarita by association.
Yeah. My kids
And,
are.
Yeah, and we see that
También Nagarita.
según edad se está haciendo la pelea con Caleb Plant and Resendiz.
The rematch.
No, I mean, Berlanga,
Berlanga, that's
Berlanga.
what- yeah.
What do you think about that fight? Is Berlanga shot, or do you think he just lost with Hamza
Look.
because Hamza's tall as heck?
Berlanga, you got to respect what he's done to get all those big fights, talks and acts the part. He has 30 people chasing him around all the time behind him.
Se hace y se cree.
No, it's true. It's true. But so that attention, he talks, and like I'm telling you, he's got 30 people around him, all the time, where in places where nobody even knows who he is. But he does that. That's his character. And that has brought him a lot of attention. He fought Canelo. I don't know, from what I'm saying, he made like $12 million. So the fuck, isn't that good? Shit, we need I need somebody like that here in my gym. So
Ya se fue Mikey.
so that's good for him. Then he loses to Shiraz and got knocked out the way he did, because Shiraz is a good fighter. He's strong. Berlanga was never that talented fighter that everybody the promise of becoming a world champion. He just became a big name because of he talked his way into
And
those.
Eddie también le ayudó.
Eddie also did a great job. Eddie's great at what he does and got him those big fights. So I think it's I don't want to say it's easy, but I think it's a fight. The Resendiz is a real boxer. He's dedicated. He just has to be careful because from what I understand, Berlanga does hit hard. But besides
And
that,
then he had Resendiz had a big fight with Elijah. That like
yeah, you're right, you're right. Yeah, that was
lost to Elijah,
before
I think.
before he became champion. Yeah, before he beat Caleb. So
You think he can win?
I think Resendiz should win.
Resendiz?
Yeah, of course. My
That's
wife is
crazy.
so happy. Plus my wife, my daughter, and my sister. They all because he's from Nayarit, but they also he's so good looking.
Yeah.
You probably say the same.
Parece de telenovela.
You're probably one of them too. Everybody says he's you know what I mean. And he's from Nayarit. He's from Guayabito, so that's fucking badass, man. That's bad. I support that too because
I hope he wins. I would do backflips.
I've been to Nayarit probably more times than I've been to Michoacan. You know what I mean?
Let's go back home. All right, Robert. Let us know. Signing off. Tell the fans where you have your guys, the local guys, where we're gonna see you next locally, or in Fresno, and who to look out for. Because I remember back then. You would tell us about Bam. He'd be like, Bam, the little Bam, he's so good. Before his Fresno fight, that was supposed to be a title and never happened.
Yeah.
Before the Cuadras
Right.
fight. So I know you say Chop Chop, and we saw Chop Chop at Thunder Studios. He's looking to be, one of the top
Yes.
guys. Pero ¿quién más? ¿Quién nos
I think
recomendaría
think
seguir?
Chop Chop is the one that's close there. Besides obviously the ones that are already like Curiel, they're already fighting those level type of fights. So Lindolfo is fighting at
Friday.
Terminator on Saturday. So it's from the younger ones, I think Art Barrera is also one that has a lot of potential to becoming.
December 13th, right?
I think we're gonna put him on the. No, he's not on the Stockton card.
Okay.
He's gonna be on, I believe the 12th, December 12th. I think December 12th in Thunder Studios. He's with Top Rank also. He's one that has a bright future. They we have Top Rank's doing a great job with him. I have so many youngsters, but I think one that's actually that's gonna be special to a 16-year-old here in my gym.
16.
Yeah, I got some 16-year-old that could really fight. Yeah. Still on the amateur, but that kid could fight, man. He's kind of like looking like Bam was looking when he was that age. And he's also lefty. So he's seeing Bam and he's doing stuff like that, like Bam. He's only 16, but we're already training him to prepare him for the pros a couple years from now. I think he's going to play. His name is AJ Herrera.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's invite the fans then, because those local cards get so good. Robert's guys are always on there. What's the next one? Vamos a ver.
December 12th, Thunder Studios. And then
Are you going to be at the Fresno one?
I'm going to be at the Fresno one too, November 29th. There you go. That's another one, another good one. November 29th. I'll be there too. December 12th, like I said, Thunder Studios. And then December 13th in Stockton, I'm going to be there too because I have Arturo Cárdenas on that card. Yes.
Diego Pacheco.
Yes, on that card. And then January 17, I believe, we have the Soboba Casino where Chop Chop's gonna fight,
Okay.
and a bunch of my younger guys fighting on that card
So
too.
we'll be back
Here in
by
Soboba.
then,
Yes,
so we
yes.
can get all of those guys.
Exactly.
Thank you always for your time, bro, porque aquí we always take